Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Coffee Break, and welcome back to the CoffeeCast ProCast edition, where today I am bringing you none other than the Zerg Titan IMNestea versus his opponent on the right-hand side in EGDemuslim. This is going to be a very, very exciting matchup. Nestea, you all know him, you all love him, a very, very powerful Zerg player. Well known for actually his ZvZ and his ZvT. His ZvZ is arguably one of the best in the world, if not the best ZvZ in the world. And his ZvT, not too shabby either. And that is what we are going to be seeing here today, a Zerg versus Terran matchup, which actually is one that I just casted about 10 seconds ago. I really just killed my last recording, loaded this replay up, and was ready to go. You'll notice I actually did remember to hide my timer hider this game. So, you guys will not be able to see how long this game is. I apologize. Zerg versus Terran matchup, pretty set. But we have been seeing Terran players, oh my goodness, forego that thought. We have a double proxy racks right off of, oh my goodness, right off of the main branch of Nestea's base here on Shakir's Plateau. And with a normal scouting pattern, I don't know if that'll be seen. I don't know. I can't quite. I think it's just out of the watchtower's radius. You can see down on the mini map here. I think it's just out of that radius. Nestea even going for a 15 hatch, 16 pool. Oh, this could do a lot of damage, as Nestea's pool, once again, very, I wouldn't say very, very late, but it's about as late as you can get that spawning pool. And with these two racks right here, these Marines are going to be coming in super quickly. I would not be surprised to see a couple of bunkers go down as well. One SCV heading off north to scout for a third base, for a very, very fast third, and the other SCV coming up into the natural expansion. Oh, what is he going to do? Will he lay down that bunker quite yet? Going to wait just a little bit, if he is indeed going to do that. Two Marines on the way, two more rallied behind him. This could get interesting. I completely forgot what I was saying when I noticed those two proxy racks. So you guys all finish that thought and put it into a comment. Woo! Bunker is now going up just off the creep, as the creep is beginning to spread out. Going to be able to pick off one overlord here, and that's going to actually be a very big deal, as that will supply block IMNestea. Oh, not getting that overlord. Oh, that's a shame for EGDemuslim. Actually getting two bunkers up right now, and getting double spine crawler as well to be able to try to push up and block that off. A lot of Marines on the map already. 4 Marines over here with double production still going on. Double queen coming out as well. This is going to be kind of a close call for IMNestea, but he's been in this situation time and time again. 4 SCVs here for repairing these bunkers, and 6 Marines in the bunkers. Once again, double Marines being produced. One spine crawler did uproot itself and is now re-rooting itself, and it looks like can't quite decide where to put the second one. However, that is going to be just in range of that bunker. Looks like spine crawler range of 7 perhaps, indeed. So they do outrange these bunkers by 1. However, with so many SCVs on the repair, the bunker's actually getting repaired to full health before he can do anything. There we go. Zerg pushing up, trying to kill off these bunkers. One bunker not getting repaired. That one bunker on the top is going to fall. The SCVs on the bottom bunker going to be taken out. And the Marines, the bunkers, everything is going to die. Actually, Marines staying alive, trying to pull those back into the spine crawlers. Going to be able to take out this spine crawler with those Marines. Might be able to do a little bit more damage to this hatchery, but I don't think that he's going to get that hatchery. And it's going to be, no, the Marines are forced back. And that is going to put the Muslim behind a little bit, as he's going to have to stop production on these two barracks, lift them off at some point, and get them back into his main base, or just somewhere safe, because that is not a good place for that. And there, the Zerglings are going to go ahead and scout these two barracks here. And that's going to be kind of an unfun situation for EGDemuslim. A queen could actually get up on the high ground and start poking away at these to force EGDemuslim to lift those off, rather than keep them there for a little while longer. Zerglings are moving across the map in maybe a counterattack fashion. Going to be able to start poking at these supply depots with absolutely no repercussions. Command center is going up in the main as well now. Actually not going to go ahead and try to pick those off, as the Marines are retreating back across the map. And there we go, both barracks being lifted off, doing a little bit of scouting with one of them coming into the main of Nestea. However, he's not really going to see all that much except a spawning pool So sacrifice the barracks, maybe that's probably going to be able to get out. Queens don't do all that much damage to air, or really all that much damage in general. They're pivotal and they're great for defense, but they're not, you know, any main offensive unit for these Zerg raids. Coffee. Something warm to go down my throat. Feels good right now, as I have done a lot of streaming already today, and I actually have a online tournament to cast tonight. The seeding rounds for a tournament to cast tonight. Hopefully that this will not affect that all too much. Marines do come back up to start poking away at these creep tumors, just denying any more creep spread. This is generally the role that Hellions play, and actually even laying down a scan to go ahead and take these out. Might be trying to push up. Oh, need to be careful there of these Zerglings and this Queen here. That is going to be enough firepower to take these Marines down. And will he get all of them? Gets off creep, but does manage to lose the last of the Marines. And this barracks could have gotten out of here, but now just sitting in this area, in this base, might still die. Queen's just poking away. You have to wonder how they get so many darts. These Queens aren't that big, and there have been at least 100 darts thrown at this barracks. It's kind of a marvel, really. Now burning, now down into the red. That barracks is not going to make it. Bringing a second barracks in to do a little bit more scouting. I'm wondering if we may be seeing, yep, that's exactly it, mech play coming out of our Terran into Muslim. Mech play TVZ, not the most popular style, however, very, very powerful style. I'm not saying it's bad by any means. I'm just saying a lot of players do not use it quite as often as maybe your standard Marine tank composition. Very, very beautiful composition. Barracks is just going to sit over the watchtower and actually just going to let that die. Not worried at all about saving his barracks. I'm surprised he doesn't have one barracks getting saved. Pardon me. As he does need that to make additional factories. However, to each his own. Triple command center, triple orbital command out of EGDemuslim, going to be ramping up his economy quite a bit, as he is a bit behind in that 53 to 36 in favor of our Zerg player at this point in time. In favor of our Zerg player. 3 factories currently producing lots of Hellions, which are going to be countered by the Banelings. However, Hellions on their own right counter Banelings. It's kind of this awkward, they soft counter each other sort of position. IMNestea also going to go ahead and throw up a Spire. So just our classic Zergling Baneling Muta coming out of IMNestea. And I think that that is a great composition. However, may have to switch it up just a little bit when he finds out his opponent is going for Hellion Tank Thor, is what I would assume. I don't know, did that armory finish or did it get canceled? It just finished. It just finished, so we can go ahead, start getting vehicle upgrades, can start getting Thors as well, and that is exactly what we're seeing come out. However, this all-seeing Overseer is going to see that came out funny. The all-seeing Overseer is seeing everything. Yes. The omnipotent Overseer is going to scout all the things in the Muslim space. Scout all the things. That's how I always read that meme with the little voice inflection. So, IMNestea going to be able to make an appropriate response if he so chooses. It looks like he's staying on the Zergling Mutapath for the moment, which does kind of surprise me. Zergling, Baneling Muta, not the... Oh, these Zerglings actually on hold position and losing quite a few there for free. That was a nice little hit by the Muslim. Actually going to get, surrounded by these Zerglings, maybe. Oh, Baneling's getting close. Baneling's able to take out one of the Hellions, but the Hellions going to fry away quite a few of these Zerglings. Getting a couple of Baneling kills as well. Now going to run back home 7, 7, 8, and 4. So yeah, I actually got quite a few Zergling kills. I would like to see a tech switch out of IMNestea. However, Mutalisk not the best versus early game Thors. You really need a high Muta count to be able to start taking down Thors. However, if he plans to just keep on pumping out Mutalisk, this could work all right for him. We do see a couple of missile turrets already up in the main base of the Muslim to defend against those Mutalisks. Always built in pairs, just to make sure that two turrets can always be shooting at the Mutalisk at any given point in time. Late game, however, if once again IMNestea is looking to go into the late game instead of some sort of mid-game timing attack, a giant Mutalisk ball versus Thors versus a mech army in general actually is not all that bad, because if you can magic box the Thors, there is nothing left on the ground to kill your Mutalisk, and that's a good position to be in. 3 Thors already out onto the map. That is a lot, with 2 more in production. Just seeing Thor Hellion actually not worrying about making siege tanks. Pardon me for folks there. Pardon me for a second there, folks. There we go. Now just have another barracks down on the field, making another 2 factories and a 4th command center right now. Very, very heavy macro coming out of EGDemuslim, and I like that choice. Always a smart thing to do. Did lose a changeling there, and I just want to say, Thor's taking a couple of volleys at that overseer. Surprised here. What I want to say fast. One thing that should be used more is Contaminate, I feel. Contaminate does stop production buildings, and there goes the Overseer there. Needles are flying over those Hellions, however, not able to kill them as the Thors are in too close of a vicinity. IMNestea going to go ahead and start establishing a 4th base. 3rd base is now established over in the Harvester count 78 to 64. IMNestea sitting in a beautiful position. Going to go ahead, take his 5th and 6th gas as well. Hellions are going to run up there and scout out this base. However, Zerglings going to be able to stop that. Both Hellions do go down. Watchtower technically controlled by IMNestea, but as you can see here, does not get the radius for that because it does have to be held by a ground unit. 3rd base now established for EGDemuslim. It's going to put the incomes fairly even at this point in time because once you get to the 3 base area, there really isn't all that much you can do with all the minerals. Really, you take a 4th base and a 5th base just to start getting all the gas benefits and to be able to have that mineral count once your bases do start getting mined out. And IMNestea, actually, I'm surprised he's still making drones. Actually has over-droned at this point by at least 10. Some players like to be around 80. Some players like to be around 70. I generally think 75 is a nice little mark to be at. Planetary Fortress and being morphed in over at the 4th base. Immediately trying to fly in to do a little bit of damage here, but Thors are in position trying to establish missile turrets, actually having problems with that. But with those 2 Thors there, Needless are going to be forced back. And IMNestea maxed out, but again, you have to remember there's about 20 supply, 15 to 20 supply extra in drones right now. There we go, actually making a couple of buildings. So about 10 supply extra in harvesters. That's not the biggest deal. That's 5 roaches, 5 mulas, which, I mean, yeah, you're not going to turn down having 5 roaches or 5 mulas, but in the grand scheme of things, not the biggest deal in the world. Pathogen glands being researched right now, switching over to roach. That is a much better ground unit in this to go against this mech play. Roaches and mulas. Oh my goodness, there is a huge move out in the middle of the map. Is Siege Tank finished? There is no Siege. I think I heard a Siege Tank. I swear I heard a Siege Tank somewhere around here. Thors and Hellions beginning to push up. I know Siege Tanks are in production. You can see the tab there. Thors and Hellions beginning to push up, taking out a Spine Crawler. Oh my Banelings! Oh my freaking Banelings. There are 37 Banelings on the map. More just now finishing up. 48 full Banelings, and that causes a full retreat by EGDemuslim. He is terrified of that army now. And landing on the Thors, not the best thing to land on. Want to try to get those all the way over to the Hellions. Will they quite get there? No, just kind of blowing up on whatever they can. However, the Roaches going to be able to mop up a lot of the Thors that were weakened by the Banelings. There's 1 Thor on the bottom there. Oh, 2 Thors down to the red health. 1 with only 30 health left, and it does go down. So that was a pretty cost-effective army by IMNestea there, considering that he used tier 1 units, roaches and banelings, and just massive amounts to go ahead and force EGDemuslim back, because EGDemuslim actually had a fairly terrifying composition there. Good move by IMNestea. Going to go ahead and establish his Greater Spire to start getting those Broodlords out onto the map. Probably going to be seeing a roach-infested Broodlord going into the late game. Little handful of Mutalisks over here. Just the only 4 on the map, actually, to deny any base going up here at the 5th area. Large amount of roaches moving across the middle of the map. Going to need to sack a few of those at some point to start getting Corruptors and Broodlords onto the field. Wouldn't be surprised to see him try to sack those up into this 3rd base. Try to snipe the Planetary Fortress real quickly. Oh, is that what he's going to be doing? Going to try to distract the army a little bit. Excuse me, a little bit maybe. Dancing back and forth, actually. There we go, running up into this 4th base. Going to go ahead and focus fire down the Planetary at half health. At 1/3 health, mass repair going on it, but will it be enough? No, it will not. The 4th base does fall. IMNestea's roaches going to go ahead and take that out and actually get a lot of SCV kills, be able to take out quite a bit of the army as well. Oh my goodness, a lot of SCVs going down there. And I just want to look at the upgrades real fast. Well, 1-2 for EGDemuslim, 0-2 for IMNestea, so fairly even. slight advantage does go to the Muslim, and I want to give a little bit of an extra advantage over to the Muslim, seeing as he is upgrading his mech, his tier 2 units, as opposed to having upgraded tier 1 units. And actually, ooh, the roaches just kind of burrowed up here, and that could make for a really nasty surprise for the Muslim in just a little bit. 12 corruptors on the way now for IMNestea. Pardon me, my voice cut out there. IMNestea, how to say it forcefully, T. And that's going to allow him to make, I believe, 4 Broodlords. Going to need to sacrifice a few more. Oh, scan going down, actually noticing those roaches up on the ramp there. Going to allow Nestea to make a few Broodlords, 6 Infestors coming out. Probably going to want to be quite honest, just sack these Mutalisks, trying to kill off a couple of SCVs, as 4 Mutalisks are not going to be able to do any damage whatsoever, and that's 8 supply that he could stack up and send into Broodlord. It looks like, oh, some of his roaches unburrowing here don't exactly, not all of his roaches though. Don't know exactly what he was planning with that there. Actually got blocked up there by a supply depot wall. Kind of an amusing circumstance. Going to go ahead and sack a bunch of those roaches to take out some extra buildings on the low ground here. And when you're going to sack units, you may as well make them do something. A huge push out by the Muslim over, pushing across the center of the map now with a large number of tanks. However, only 3 Thors here to defend against the 12 Broodlords that are spawning out right now. And this could prove to be troublesome for the Muslim, especially if he's caught out of position. 4, 5, 6 Thors now up here, and with 2 armor upgrades. Going to be very difficult to punch through those, but it's going to happen as there are a lot of Broodlords. Oh my goodness, 12 Broodlords on the field right now, getting some beautiful fun growth off on this army to be able to kill quite a few tanks. But you see the Broodlings here only doing 4 damage versus an armor of 3 and an armor of 5. The Broodling themselves, not a problem. Oh, 1 Broodlord actually getting caught off guard there. The Broodlings themselves, not a problem. Oh, that is a lucky Broodlord. It's the 20 damage from the Broodlords and the massive amount of range. They have a range of 9.5, one of the few odd-numbered range units. The Javelin missile launchers, a range of 10, so they just barely range on each other. Technically, Thors do have a slight advantage in that, right? Looks like Nestea is going to be pushing out across the map, trying to press advantage. But what is this? That is Vikings on the map with no Corrupt Zero. Only a couple of infested Terrans. 2 infested Terrans are not going to be enough to take down those 2 Vikings, I would assume. But actually, it's going to be enough. The Muslim getting a beautiful positioning in the back here, forcing Nestea to run up into him and get a little bit of sight range there. Corruptors finally entering the field. However, Broodling's not really able to do all that much damage up front here. Relying completely on the Broodlords. Banelings rolling into that army. But once again, Banelings not the best unit against Thors and tank, but they get the job done there. However, the Broodlords for Nestea are now all falling. Nestea down to 142 supply, remacking as fast as he can. Gas is a real problem for him at this point in time, as he did lose one of his gas mining bases over at his 5th. Surprised, I would not be surprised to see a 6th base established fairly shortly as well. There's currently a single barracks floating over here. This has been around here all game long. There we go. Take that out. Take that out. Yeah. Yeah, he's going down. And I believe there's still 4 Mutalisks on the field. Just 4. Chilling. Yep. 4th base finally reestablished for EGDemuslim, so he's going to be able to start remining his gas and minerals here. Going to be a nice situation for him. Barracks finally falls. If I were the Muslim, even though he is a little bit gas rich right now, I would be more worried about getting the gas than the minerals, as you do have these mules that are going to just skyrocket your mineral account. Really needs to establish a 5th base, as he is mined out in his main, going to be mined out in his natural fairly shortly here. We can only see about 1,000 minerals or so left on those patches. And now both armies happy to just sit back and re-macro themselves, as they both lost quite a bit in that previous battle. Mutalisks flying around the map, making sure a base is not going to get established somewhere. Looking for this little ninja expansion down at the 6 o'clock. And my goodness, this is quite the army composition. We have queens for transfuse on the broodlords. A single infestor, I believe, is on the field units. Yeah, one infestor on the field. Corruptors and zerglings, probably to be morphed into banelings. I wouldn't mind seeing a couple of more infestors just for a little bit of extra fun with growth power. Zerglings running in, but the Sea Tanks did get sieged up in time, and those zerglings are going to get annihilated. Those were pretty much the least effective zerglings I've ever seen. A couple of infestarians being thrown down, but again, thrown down right in front of those Sea Tanks, and the Sea Tanks completely annihilate those. Mutalists and Corruptors do run up to try to take out the Viking. Looks like they're going to be able to do a little bit of damage, but not quite kill them all. It's going to be difficult to engage with these broodlords as long as there are, pardon me, as long as there are Viking numbers in the air. There we go, 5 more infestors being made. Transfuses going down on all of these broodlords except the last 2 because they are out of energy, I would assume. Queen, 75 energy, needs 50 for transfuse, so I suppose there could be technically 1 more transfuse going down there. And I apologize that I keep yawning. It is a gray, cloudy day, and I'm sitting down in kind of a dank basement here. I need to get more coffee into my system. Ah, that's the stuff. Ah, that's the stuff. That stim sound from the first game. I don't know why stim sounded so much more menacing in game number in Starcraft Broodlord. Hellions and tanks and Thors all moving out across the middle of the map again. And IMNestea, I think, was caught a little bit out of position. Infestors that just spawned are running up now, but I think IMNestea is going to have to fall back as there are so many Vikings here and quite a few Thors. The Broodlords are annihilated in this battle. I'm even having problems double clicking one. There are only 3 left. A nice little group of Corruptors, however, to deal damage to the Viking. However, even the Corruptors are being mopped up by these Thors. IMNestea has to fall all the way back, and now has taken a 50 supply deficit, 123 to 174. Needs to make something here. Where is his larva? He only has 3 larvae left on the field, now making 38 roaches. And immediately is remaxed. Corruptors coming in here trying to do what damage they can to these Vikings. But is it going to be enough? He's in kind of a bad position here. There are so many tanks and Thors on the map. And for those of you who don't know, tanks actually do more damage per second when they are unsieged rather than when they are sieged. However, when they are sieged, they obviously get the buff of having a splash damage. Roaches are now streaming into this army, doing quite a bit of damage. I don't quite think it's going to be enough, as there are still so many Thors remaining here. But how many more roach waves can the Muslim take? 13 more roaches on the way. 11 larvae. Looks like spawn larvae did just pop. Needs to make sure to stay on top of those injects, which is what, ooh, missing those injects in the main. There we go, now getting a couple of injects down. Really needs all the supply he can possibly get to be able to fend off his attack. But now IMNestea is the one taking the supply lead, 142 to 140. 23 more roaches spawning on the way, and Caravans level 2 just now coming up, going against a 3-3 army right now in the mech of his opponent. This is why mech play is so popular. It is extremely powerful in the mid game once you get that 3-3. But now that we are entering this late game phase, is IMNestea going to have enough to hold off against it? A lot of roaches and Corruptors and Broodlords would do a nice little trick. Drones being pulled out of this base. Are they on the attack order or are they on the move? They're on the attack order, trying to help get the surround on some of those Thors. Roaches coming from behind to flank the army, and it looks like the Muslim is going to lose this battle. IMNestea has pulled off yet another miracle event, but Vikings landing down in the 4th base, and drones just got slaughtered right there. Down to a 64 drones of the 90 earlier on in the game. However, where is he going to mine from? He's lost this this 5th base here. He is almost mined out of his 4th base. His 5th base, he needs to hold on to this 5th base, as that is one of his last few mining expansions. Really only has 3 right now. Really only has 3. In the meantime, during that attack, the Muslim was able to secure, no wait, no, he already had that base, was able to secure this base up at the 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock position there, and begin mining out of it. So that's going to be a nice little economy buff for him. He did a great job denying a couple of bases. That's going to put the 2 players on an even footing, and Vikings actually even sitting over here for a surprise attack later on. That's I'm surprised that Vikings aren't landed more often to kill drones, as that is a very effective. Whoa, don't want to land there, Vikings. That is a very bad place to land. Actually managing to stay out of that queen's range as well. trying to make sure to lose as few units as humanly possible. Does still have 500 minerals over here. Wouldn't mind seeing him mine those just on general principle, considering that he's long distance mining. Technically would get slightly better gains out of mining at that base. Ooh, a couple of Hellions did get into this base down here. A lot of drones there. Oh man, 2 more volleys out of those Hellions, and a lot of drones would have died. Down 59 to 54 now, still slightly in favor of our Zerg player, but you don't really want to lose too many more. Vikings are now going to come over up into this top left expansion and land down to start taking out units. Fungal growth does go down on those, and oh, we need 1 more fungal growth. That would really lock these in to die. However, actually, I guess he really needs 2 fungal growths to be able to start taking out some, but instead just going to transfer the drones out, pull the roaches into this 4th base, and force the Vikings to lift off and fly away. A nice army being remacroed by EGDemuslim. Has a good economy right now, 2,100 to the 1,000 of his opponent. EMNestea having troubles re-establishing any expansions as the Vikings are flying around harassing. He has Blue Flame Hellions coming into his bases and just roasting away the drones. Really needs to find some way to be able to secure a couple of mining bases and just hold on to them, because even at this point in the game, he is down 196 to 153 supply, technically down in upgrades as well, down 1 armor upgrade. And at this point in the game, you really need any advantage you can get. These this mech army just so powerful. Once again, 4 armor on the siege tanks, 6 I believe, 4 armor on the Thors. Very, very difficult to penetrate that. Hellions across the middle of the map are going to be pushed back by the roaches. EMNestea needs to make sure not to overextend himself. Really needs to get some broodlords back into its army to be able to deflect any attack EGDemuslim gives. Because EGDemuslim, oh my goodness, even has a Raven on the field now. Don't know exactly what that would be used for, as I don't think point defense drone will shoot roach saliva out of the air. Don't know exactly what the point defense drone is. Maybe to stop the corruptor fire. That would be my best guess. What's this description? And shoot down enemy missiles. I'm not exactly sure, to be quite honest. And no Hunter Seeker missile on the map either. So it'll be interesting to see how he uses that. I've never really seen point defense drone used all that much in TvT. Roaches are caught in the middle of the map. However, not taking too much damage. Siege up was there, but just a little bit late, forcing EMNestea all the way back, losing all its creep in the middle of the map. So there goes his sight. Has a brief window to try to push in there, but no, it does fall back because the tanks were coming up very, very rapidly. 3 broodlords being morphed in right now, but will it be enough? Here comes the massive engagement. Siege tanks beginning to siege up once again in the middle of the map. This base up here is going to fall, and there are a lot of drones there, actually. This is going to kill EMNestea's economy once again. EGDemuslim just crushing EMNestea really in this late game. EMNestea never really able to remacro a full army. A lot of the drones, did burrow down, so was able to save those drones. That is a very lucky circumstance for EMNestea there. Going to go ahead and push down into this base over outside of the main. I don't know really what number to call that. But Roach is going to come down here. It's not going to quite be enough to really kill off this army. And I feel EGDemuslim can actually turn around and start firing. Indeed, yes, the point defense drone does block corruptor shots. For those of you like myself who were curious. And there we go, EGDemuslim mobbing up EMNestea's army. Might look to press his advantage here. EMNestea did just lose 2 mining bases, down kind of to 1/2 mining base. Oh, wait, there we go, 1.5, and there's the GG from EMNestea. There we go, EMNestea just losing so many bases. Not able to recover after that. Did have a lot of drones, up to 81 drones once again in this game. Oh, man, good stretches, good. My goodness, I was just locked onto my screen during that game. Wasn't able to really secure bases in that late game. EGDemuslim just pushing out and was trading armies and taking out a couple of bases in the meantime, so EMNestea could not just re-macro super fast and push out across the map and punish EGDemuslim's expansions. EGDemuslim, that mech style, my goodness, it is strong. I've never really seen it used to its full potential in the late game like this. Generally, I've seen it end games in the mid game or get crushed in the mid game by just massive numbers of roaches. But EGDemuslim showing us that that can work. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are a Terran player struggling in TVG, it's kind of a more difficult strategy to do, but learn it because it is strong. If you guys did not know, I do a bi-weekly show that is 2 shows a week. If I said that word right or used it properly, I don't know. I do a twice-a-week show called Amateur Attack, where I take your games, your live games. You guys come in and view my stream live, and I will put you guys into a game and pit you two against one another for the entertainment of my audience. And I will cast your games live and occasionally take in guest casters of you guys to go ahead and see what it's like to cast some Starcraft games. It's a lot of fun. Trust me, my voice is actually like a little bit raw right now because I'm just like so excited about these. So please check that out. There will be a link to my live channel in the description here. And there you can also find the times for Amateur Attack, which is 8 o'clock CST. On Mondays and Fridays. You can also find a link to my Twitter and my Facebook account if you guys would like to follow me or like me. And that is when you know when I'm going live with things. When I am casting alternative events, like currently I'm casting the IMNestea Starcraft 2 Open Tournament. That is a Nebraska Esports Association tournament. Casting that right now, and I will hopefully be having a CoffeeCast Starcraft 2 Open number 2 this year for you guys as well, coming up fairly shortly. As soon as school finishes up, I will start planning that. That is about 2 weeks for me. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me here on the CoffeeCast. Your viewership is very important to me, and I really appreciate it. Please click that button to subscribe there. It helps me out a lot. And coming up on 10,000 views. That's really exciting for me. If you guys have any ideas of what I could do for 10,000 views, let me know. Let me know. Maybe I'll do like a 24-hour streamathon or something. Who knows? Until next time, folks, this is Coffee Break, signing out.